defend herself. Did that occur?
That occurred.
What happened at that hearing?
That was, it went to mediation, and we split custody.
So joint custody.
Joint custody.
Knowing where you got primary custody, did you still have the article when you got joint?
Yeah.
Okay, so even though you had the article, you didn't get primary.
Yo, Judge Mathis filed, yo. I'm telling you, yo. For real, that one for a file, yo.
Okay.
I'm asking, that's a question.
You're correct.
Okay, go ahead. So you're saying that you obtained primary custody for a little while because you went to court without her knowledge and presented an article. But then when you went back to court with her knowledge and you all began to debate the issue, you still had the article.
Actually, I presented police report, not an article. That's
But you
just,
still didn't.
I held on to primary custody for a few months.
Ultimately, when the hearing and the mediation and all that occurred, and you presented a police report now, not just an article, you had articles, police reports, all of that. And they said no primary custody, didn't they?
I didn't want primary custody.
What were you there for? That's exactly what you said you wanted, sir. Sir, you told me you wanted primary custody. That's why we're going through this.
We're going through this to prove.
I don't know. The discussion you and I are having is because you said you wanted primary custody. You went and got an emergency order for primary custody. And now when we debated and I win the debate, you say you didn't want. Your credibility is totally ruined. And you're talking contemptuous. Get the hell out of my court. You got that? Contempt of court. Judgment for the plaintiff. Who do you think you're talking to?
Plaintiff Octavia Cole admits she's addicted to crack and says she dated the defendant, but he was verbally abusive. Octavia is suing her ex-boyfriend for unreturned property and emotional distress. Defendant Joshua Madden says when Octavia moved in with him, he had no idea she was a crack-addicted prostitute whose ex-boyfriend pimped her out. Joshua is countersuing for rent and damages.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. May now be seated.
Start with you.
Hi, he's my ex-boyfriend who I thought cared about me. But
How long you all date?
for about four months. But we known each other before that. We had met through a program called
How long you all known each other?
I met him in 2015.
Okay.
After we broke up,
How was the date?
Oh, okay, it wasn't good at all.
Why?
Verbally abusive, not supportive. I have a crisis. I was verbally abused about that a lot.
Recovery.
No,
You're not? You're
I struggle about it.
How often do you practice?
I fall back here and there once in a while.
All right. We're going to help you get some treatment, all right?
You still haven't signed up with Chime? What are you doing? Getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit has given me
We don't have to focus much on that today because I admire you for coming to tell the truth. And I'll call you in recovery because most folks, they do not admit it. People in recovery are the only ones I know who have admitted it. Most people lie, dodge, and that's when I have to call them crackheads. Because they come in here lying, knowing they're getting high, knowing they're addicted, knowing they're hurting their families, their friends, and stealing in this. They gonna stand up here, no! Crackhead. You're a recovering addict. I appreciate your honesty, and we're gonna help you. And that's why I say recovery. We're gonna get you into recovery. That was back and forth. You're the one that drove the woman to crack. Talking crazy every day. Why'd you talk crazy every day? Let me hear from you.
I had nothing to do with her drug addiction. I didn't know that she was an alcoholic, crack addict. Also, I didn't know that she was doing prostitution. Had a pimp. Seeing her ex-boyfriend also who pimped her out. And actually, this was in October when January came. She brought the crack into my house and a crack pipe. Smoked it with my roommate. He had a relapse. I told you, gotta go. I can't have that in my home. I'm a recovered.
Sir, there's no such thing as a recovered. It's called a recovery.
Yo,
19 years.
that was
I
Judge
understand,
Mathis
but
file,
you can take you
yo.
a hit
For
at any
real.
day, and you'll be a full-blown crackhead the next day.
I agree with you. You're right.
Well then, you're a recovery.
I'm doing
And I
okay.
try to keep myself clean.
Chuck
It's
is
like
bride.
18 years. I don't even want it in my house.
You're a highly successful recovery.
Thank you. And I'm proud of it. Very proud of it.
And I doubt very seriously if you'll relapse after all these years.
Yes.
So, how long were you dating her before you allowed her to move into your house?
Our dates didn't happen till October.
Okay. And she moved in when?
In October.
The same month.
Yeah.
You didn't know anything about it. I tell people all the time, people can hide
Appreciate
their
that.
addiction for at least a year. You'll never know they're on crack. Now, after about a year, they ain't doing nothing with their life but looking for crack. And if you don't know what crack is, they disappear on you a lot, folks, for like 2 days and come back like they never happened. Like you can't say anything to them like they did wrong.
I'm addicted.
I ain't doing nothing. I was over so-and-so house for we were playing cards for 2 days. Act like you doing something wrong to ask them. Am I right or wrong? So that's one of the first signs. So that's what you're telling me the problem was. All right.
Well, not at first because
Yo, I really appreciate you for that. For real, for real. I just decided to get on here tonight. Just to fucking real. I be seeing other people, I don't really got no topic, man. So this is just a way of me, fucking with people who ever fuck with me. You get what I'm saying? Y'all can chat, you get what I'm saying, in the comments or whatever. I ain't, got too much to elaborate on, but I swear I appreciate that, Jersey, for real. Chuck is bride. Chuck is bride. Chuck is bride.
she denied her addiction. She had me believe that there was no crack. That's one thing. First thing I asked her, are you
Appreciate
doing
you.
crack? No.
For real, for
said,
real.
Okay.
For real,
You
for
gonna
real.
crack? You wouldn't have a woman.
I asked her because I know her ex-boyfriend who's on my Facebook page and he
So
has
you
a
knew
drug
that I was
addiction.
doing.
Okay. All right.
And because of their assault.
Judge Mathis, yo, he love calling people damn crackheads, yo. For real.
Initiation. That's why that was the purpose why I was asking certain questions before we proceed
All
further.
right. Let me hear from you, ma'am. Particularly, he says you were prostituting. He said my man is the pimp. Not a pimp. That's what he said. Is that who you're talking about?
Functional member of
Is
society.
that who you're talking about?
Well, he's
Judge Mathis love that shit, yo.
See, that's why that's why we're not
Y'all get a
together.
couple dollars.
That's why I'm standing here. That's why I am so tired of you bashing me.
Go ahead, ma'am. Correct what he said if you like, and then we got to get to the
That's not true.
property issue.
That's
He
not
loved
even
that
true.
shit,
And that's
for
part
real.
of it just by listening to him. He also hacked into my Facebook account and asked me through one of his phones. He went on Facebook and told one of my friends that I had HIV, which
What?
is not true. I do not have HIV. To my crack habit.
Sir, did you say that?
I'm not gonna deny. Yes, this is the phone that this was my property. She was using my phone for doing drug deals with this man. And yes, I did send a message, which I
He
regretted because
snitching.
I was upset. I even also sent a message to this man, pretend to be her, and asking for dope. And he responded, yes, tomorrow.
Property, unreturned property.
What?
Return property is from one of when I moved out in February, I didn't take anything. So when I did try to contact him for my belongings, he would not give me none of my items. Only thing he does is call me crackhead junkie, saying I can't take care of my daughter properly. You know, it's just a whole bunch of harassment, and I still haven't got any of my items. So that's the unreturned property right there.
Okay, sir.
She moved out February 14th. February 16th, she said she'd be by my house to get her property. That was
Judge
a Friday.
Mathis, yo, I'm
I
talking
waited
about
all day.
that
I told her
motherfucker fire.
all her stuff is. She never showed up. And even after the 30 days, I even said like, let's do it the right way. Like the hotel that she was doing her activity was like only 5-minute walk from my job. I'll bring your stuff to my job. Meet me at my work. She never shows up. I have messages, text messages.
So
She
where are things?
still in my storage, about 10 feet away from my door.
Okay, you have a list, ma'am?
Yes.
And your counterclaim, how did she owe you for rent and property?
This shit crazy, yo.
Yes, well, when she moved in, the only money she gave me was $70.
And what was the agreement?
$300 a month. That's what
I wash my hair too. That's why I got this shit on. I wash my hair.
How much was the rent, ma'am? Did you agree to rent?
No, because I wasn't even employed when I
Was she
I didn't.
employed?
No,
Yes,
I
she
did
was,
not.
and I also got a message from her former employer who fired her. I have
Well,
that.
that means she wasn't employed.
Exactly.
No, she got
Just proved her point.
Only thing
October. She moved in October 10th.
Ma'am,
November.
did you give him
I gave only $70 because I was helping him out with an electric bill, but I did not. The only thing I agreed was to buy food.
I've been
moved
asking.
February 14th.
Did you ask
When had you asked for your money prior to that?
Prior to that,
Yes.
Never.
every month since she was, October,
Since
November,
October.
December.
All right. What did she say?
Later on, because once again she didn't get paid because she was going through some issue with this gentleman. Why
That's
she
what
left
she
him?
told you?
Yes.
She said, I'm having the issue with him. And you said he was pimping her? That means she certainly had money to pay you.
Yeah, she did have money.
Why don't you think she paid you if she had money? Why didn't she pay you?
Because she was using her money for other things on her own personal
That
stuff.
was her response. I'm spending my money on other things.
I mean, she just
You're
had
asking me about this rent. Nothing. What did she say the next month, November? Where's my rent? What she say?
She said, I need my money for other things because she's trying to prepare. She's trying to prepare for her daughter, who she don't have custody for, to come stay with me because she didn't want her daughter to stay with this man.
What about December, the third month?
December, her daughter did come
No,
and
when
stay.
you asked for your money.
She keeps bringing up her daughter. I need this here
Oh,
for my
that daughter was there.
And also, she needed to send money to North Carolina where her daughter stays at.
How about January?
Okay.
Yo, but I would like to add this again, yo. I appreciate you again, Jersey Mommy, for sharing my links and shit like that, yo. You're a real one, though, for real. Real recognize real. So I had to stop this to let you know that I appreciate you for sharing my link in different chats and shit like that.
She just kept on giving me more excuse. I told her to leave because that's in
January, that's when you told her to leave?
That's when I told her to leave, but she did not leave. I told her to leave in January because that's when she brought crack in my house.
All right.
And I told I got really upset. You gotta go, and when she smoked crack with
Billy, what's up with you?
my roommate, and he had a relapse from her activity, and basically, she
All this. She owed you at that time, if we include January, $1,200. She was smoking crack in your house. She turns your roommate out. All of that. And you say, let's leave. She say, no. And then you say, okay. What about eviction, sir? You ever heard of that?
I tried to do that also, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
Yes.
And what happened?
Went down there, she said, I'm going to move anyway. Because,
Filed for eviction,
Yeah.
right? What happened? That's what I'm asking you. You all went to court. When you filed, you go to court. Did you have a court date?
Salute,
No, I
Billy.
did not file, but I went there to fill out papers. Eviction.
The Book of Mormon. It's helped millions of people have a closer relationship with God. But maybe you're thinking.
Plaintiff Miori Holloman says when she started dating the defendant, he seemed like a perfect gentleman. However, Miori claims the defendant assaulted her numerous times and even held a gun to her head. So she filed a restraining order against him. She's suing him today for credit card bills. Defendant Griffin said Miori suspicious. He discovered she was hanging out with her ex behind his back. Romeo insists he doesn't owe Miori for anything, and he's countersuing for harassment and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session.
Yo, salute to the ones that's rocking with me though. You get what I'm saying? I know I ain't no big YouTuber or nothing like that. My content ain't like everybody else's, but hey, thanks for the ones that tuned in and stuff. For real, for real.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. May now be seated.
Start with you.
So I met Romeo Griffin last September. We was in a relationship, met through a mutual friend. He was like the perfect gentleman, from opening doors to paying for dates. He said he had businesses, wanted me to be a business partner, had cars, said he had contracts that was worth millions. And
What type of business?
drones. So he said he created a drone for the Georgia Department of Transportation. And he said he was recently divorced. So we started dating, and things started escalating. And I found out that Romeo is a woman beater, a liar, a cheater. From him hitting me, I had to get a restraining order.
When was that?
The beating started back in February, and my witness is here to contest to the day that it actually started because Romeo used my phone to contact him acting like he was me. So he threatened my roommate, threatened my ex that's here.
Why? Why do you think, or did he say he was doing that?
So that day, which was back in February, I was getting my nails done. Romeo told me he hadn't been watching my phone. He had this program, whatever he used, saying that he
Have you been a jealous person all through the relationship?
Not really. He always had maybe a temper, but never towards
so he
me.
wasn't checking on your phone. What happened this time to cause him to do that?
Shit, her damn actions.
Back in February, I was leaving the nail shop.
Right.
When I was leaving the nail shop, he asked me where I'd been. I told him where I was. And then he was like, well, who you was with? I was like, I was with no one. He was like, no, they can't be because one of my homeboys saw you at the nail shop with your ex. I said, yes. So I told my ex to bring my laptop. My ex dropped off the laptop at the nail shop. And that's when Romeo started going crazy, saying, you lying, that he's been looking at.
See what I told you? Why the ex gonna bring the laptop for? Come on now. Come on.
In my phone saying
That's
that
when the violence started as well.
that's when he was choking me, to slapping me, hitting a gun to my head.
You have a police report on that?
I do have the police report, but I don't have a copy of it. I have the restraining order and everything that has, and I have a video of the last incident of where he hit.
Sir?
Defender always saying, yo, we met each other last year, September. Everything was going well. She was a nice, good church-going girl. Amazing personality. I love how she carried herself. We started dating. Everything was going pretty well at first. And then, stuff just went.
Yo, I always side with the one that ain't got nothing bad to say about the other.
Start adding up. Where, so she would get certain phone calls, and she wouldn't answer certain calls or text messages. So I kind of I just started taking notes.
What did you discover?
So basically, around Thanksgiving, we're supposed to end up linking up after we had our you know, she was with her family, and I supposed to came to her family house, and she said her family invited her ex-boyfriend. I never met this man by then, so I was calling.
Yo, Jersey Mommy, I want to tell you I appreciate you again though, for real, for sharing my links in people chats and shit. For real. You're a real one.
All the night. She cut off her phone.
How long did you all dated? You and your ex-boyfriend?
On and off for a little bit over 5 years, 5 or 6 years.
Go ahead, sir. And so I'm calling her. She cut off her phone. Come to find out, she was with her ex-boyfriend on Thanksgiving, laid up with him in her own house.
Told y'all. She acting all goody, but look, laid up with the ex the whole fucking time.
Find that out.
First is a mutual friend who kept telling me, hey, Yours still saying ex.
He was going through my phone. He had the mutual friend look at my text.
How did you find out she was laying in bed with another man?
I went through her phone, and then I kind of questioned about it, and then she kind of tried to come clean, but she was still
She said we were in the bed on Thanksgiving weekend?
Yes, sir.
She admitted to that?
Yes. We started arguing, and then I started asking questions. And then she started coming clean. So I started asking about different scenarios where I felt like things was funny. Like one day when I came to her house in her bed, somebody else cologne. So when she finally came clean, so I'm like, yeah. So I was like, what about what happened on?
They want to say he came home and she was smelling like some dick.
Thanksgiving, what really happened? Why you there? So she ended up coming clean about that because I already saw it in text message.
She said what? Coming clean?
She was basically saying, yes, he was here, but we didn't do nothing.
Was here as in the bed?
Yes, in the bed where on the side I used to live.
How did you respond to the argument?
At first,
What? Oh my God.
we were both going back and forth. I was angry. Don't even. Only thing I was guilty of, I did test his phone and act like I was her. That's it.
How did your argument end with her?
I threw her phone. I ended up starting asking about other scenarios and stuff, and then she just was telling me about this time and everything. So I was like, "Are you still 100% still seeing him in your shoes?" She said, "Yes."
And then what?
Yo, salute to whoever rocking with me. I see views coming and going. Whoever rocking with me, salute. Once again, I ain't no big YouTuber or nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? Appreciate that shit.
Happened. And then walked away. No, sir. We end up coming down. We end up talking about it, and we end up staying together.
That was before or after the phone was thrown?
That was before.
This is when he started hitting me. So he threw my phone, and he started hitting me, choking me. I couldn't breathe. He had me pinned down on top of me, pulling my hair, going crazy. And then he started from choking me again, from pushing me. He did throw my phone in the door. And that's when I have the text messages of him threatening my ex. So he got my phone, started acting like he was me, telling my ex he's going to hurt me. Then he ran outside and told my roommate that I've been doing stuff behind his back.
You have a report, ma'am? Listen.
Yeah, I have the restraining order.
And how many times did you call the police? Why?
I was afraid of him, and
Man.
it did make me seem like I was the one that caused him to be like that. He wasn't like that. I had never seen him like this before. And
She
he was
lying like
right
hell,
that me
yo.
and my ex was still communicating, but there was
So
nothing.
is that how you caused it, you believe? That's why you think you caused it? Because you and your ex were communicating?
I believe that was the reason why, because he had never acted like
You
this
didn't think
before.
perhaps if your man didn't want you to communicate with your ex, you didn't think it was worth not communicating with him?
Then I was finding out Romeo was cheating, that he's still married.
Okay.
This man is still married.
All right.
I wasn't aware of this.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
All right.
That's a
Okay.
lie.
She trying to justify that shit, man. Come on now, man.
Mary?
No, sir. I'm not.
Okay, good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me see what you do have on this woman, B.
Oh, okay. This is the restraining order.
Let's see it, please.
Salute to whoever
Tell
watching.
me about the credit cards first. I want to hear why you
Okay.
gave this man $5,000
Okay.
and you say he told you he made a bunch of money.
So at the end of September, that's when he said that his bank had froze.
He only
'Cause
met,
I was
he
with
met
him.
you in September.
Yes, so the first week of September, that's when I was going around with him. We was going to different places, getting his apartment together because he had just moved. Well, he said that because he had spent so much money, which he was spending a lot of money. I had seen him spend maybe over $10,000. So I saw him have this money and everything, and he said his account froze. And
Did he tell you why?
he told me because he believes his ex-wife, because they still have one account together, his ex-wife may have did it, saw that he was spending a lot of money because they still had that joint account together.
Okay.
And he asked me, can he use my credit card and he'll pay me back, because he said it's something that can get fixed. He was still moving in. It has all his transactions about him going to Walmart. Those transactions
It
still
involves
get
moving in, and he was supposed to pay every month, obviously.
Well, the following month. So I had not used any on that Walmart credit card. The following month, he said he would pay me back, and I have all the messages about him saying he'll pay me back plus some. And then I asked him, so October came.
You do have over there, hopefully, the charges.
Oh,
And I pray
Okay.
that it doesn't have anything indicating that you charge something.
Oh, no. Those are for 2 months.
She's not going to be quiet. This is not going to say that you charged anything on here.
No, sir, I did not have those cards.
Okay. All right. What did she charge, sir? Sir, what did she charge?
So we both were just not going shopping. She was shopping for her house as well, sir.
It's not our house,
for a
it's
house?
yours.
No,
What do you mean?
I said you were shopping for her. Like I'm saying,
You all stayed in different houses?
Yes, we stayed in different
What
houses.
did she need done at her house?
She was just getting a few household stuff.
Like what?
She got this
Salute
thing,
whoever
like
tuned
holidays,
in
so
with
she
me.
did like
For
a
real.
holiday
How much
shopping.
do you think she charged?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
So it could have been $5.
No, it wasn't.
That was a credit card. I have my own debit card.
You're not sure. Give me an estimate.
Because you're lying.
Right. It appears he is. What's your defense against paying this?
My defense?
Yeah. She's suing you for credit card charges. Ain't nothing funny. You're going to have time to grin and smile when you go to prison.
Yo, Judge Matthews ready to get fired, yo.
You make those charges.
I did make.
What was the agreement regarding you paying?
Sir, when we was dating, we was girlfriend and boyfriend. We had no agreement. She was basically my support system the whole time. We did not make it a
All right, you sound like a scrub. You sound like a woman
He's
being.
broke. That's
You
what
sound like a woman being
Yo.
a scrub.
Yeah,
You were
that's
broke? You don't have any money? What
Yo,
happened to your money? You were broke when you married? Okay, so 1 month later, all your money was gone?
Sir.
All right, so why did you have to use her credit card that next month?
Okay, so, for that,
He called that motherfucker a scrub, yo. Oh my God. The nerve of him.
she offered, but I was
I
actually.
understand. You said she was your support. Didn't you just say that?
Yes, sir.
That means you were broke. You want to tell me that
He
you
called him broke.
were a businessman. You a scrub and a woman beater.
I
I
have the
believe
messages
her.
of him saying he'll pay it and pay it all back. It's highlighted.
Let's see the tape.
She got a fat ass too. Yeah, she got a fat ass, yo.
Ooh, I hope you crack your knuckles in prison.
He said,
That's him picking me up, picking me outside, choking me again.
wasn't. I picked you up.
All right,
run
Romeo.
acting wise.
All right,
Woman
Romeo.
beater. You won't do that to a
Hit me
man, I
twice.
bet you. And you're not going to do that when they lock you up.
Sir, I did not.
Yeah, they going to
Okay,
be
he
carrying
was
you.
choking me, Romeo.
Sir, I'm looking at
Choking
you. Sir, I picked her
me.
up. You woman beater. And get the hell out of my court. Your claim
Yeah,
is
I was
dismissed and yours is granted.
yo, that was fucked up, yo. That was fucked up.
Introducing Orchid AI, the most advanced wearable AI for vision impairment.
Plaintiff Jeff Livingston dated the defendant, despite the fact that he's 37 and she's 21. Jeff claims soon after they started dating,
This shit gonna be
the defendant
crazy,
brought
yo.
another female into their relationship, but they ultimately broke up. He's suing her today for loans and emotional distress. Defendant Sharice Carter says when she first started dating Jeff, everything was great. But over time, he became controlling and possessive. She's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. may now be seated.
Start with you.
Your Honor, we met around October, but we didn't officially meet until about Thanksgiving. Actually, Thanksgiving
Of last year?
of 2019, yes.
Okay.
And, I was staying in a motel at the time. I just came back from Florida. And so she, came along. And she never left.
Yeah.
And so
She came to visit or she came from Florida with her?
He was dropping that D on her ass.
She's from Ohio. She never left, but I didn't care. She was cool. I liked her,
How did it go? How was she? Everything was cool, you said?
Yeah, we met through mutual friends. And
How long did you all stay there at the hotel?
I stayed there for about 2 months.
She was there for the 2 months with you?
Yes. I paid for everything. She ain't have a job, no money, nothing. I paid for everything.
And you all got along, being in one room together for 2 months?
Yeah.
Good.
I really thought we had a connection,
If you could do that, just meet somebody, stay with them in a little room for 2 months, you do have something connected.
Exactly. So
There's some dick in that pussy.
okay, but that's not. We got a big age difference. I just turned 37. She's 21.
Right?
Okay, but she was carrying herself so well that I was like, I don't see no problem with it,
Damn, he on his R. Kelly shit, ain't he?
So I'm like, cool. So, things started to take shape, but, we decided to make other moves. So, we ended up leaving the motel. We moved into her friend's house. We paying rent there. She had just got a job. But now, as soon as she had got a job, COVID came.
Okay, let me allow her to get some background.
Okay.
Ma'am, let me hear from you.
Hello. So we did meet around like October, November of 2019. We ended up hanging out for his Thanksgiving, and he decided to not stay with his mom, and he was going to get a motel. So I was trying to put my best foot forward and not seem judgy. So I ended up staying at the motel with him. He invited me to come crash with him for a couple of weeks, and it just turned into a couple months.
All right.
In between the motel and my friend's house, he actually moved back in with me to my mother's house.
I thought you said you moved with friends.
No.
You moved in her mother's? Okay, I guess her mother is a friend.
Threesome.
At his friend's house. That's what he said. Go ahead. He's staying at your mom's house.
So it gave me time to look for jobs in BG where we were moving to. So I ended up finding a job, and I was planning to stay with my friends and stuff. And he came along because at that point we have established that we are together. So I don't see any problem with him staying with my friends. So we do move into my friend's house, and we are paying rent. It was real nice. And then, of course, COVID did hit, and I ended up losing my job.
Okay, and that's where he stopped. So I'm allow him to resume.
Yeah,
Tell me what happened when COVID hit.
Okay, so COVID hits. She loses her job. And that's not losing. She gets laid off. She files unemployment.
When was this? March, April?
It was April. And then, rent was still having to get paid. So I paid both our parts, which was $210 a piece for the months of April and May.
Okay.
Things start, how COVID was we were just
It was.
is
Go ahead.
So we just all together for a long time
And that's good. From what I'm hearing, you all are made for each other. If you can stay in that same room, in a hotel room for 2 months straight, you're made for each other.
Yeah. So
Couldn't go too many places. Nothing was open.
Nothing was open. Nothing to do.
All right, you need an award. Yeah, a trophy or something. I had to go to an entire separate spot every couple of days. People